It can make a huge difference to know your own energy limits. Knowing the difference between energy that comes from you and energy that comes from other people can make a big difference in how you move through the world. It's not just about personal space. It's also about being more aware of what's really yours and what you might be taking in without meaning to. Being aware of this gives you power, clarity, and mental freedom as you go through daily life. When looking into these forces, it's interesting to see how many people find these insights while on their own personal quests for understanding. It often starts with a desire to learn more about the unseen forces that affect our lives, whether it's because of the unpredictable nature of life or a greater desire to know what lies beyond the physical world. This need to know and understand can make someone interested in spiritual activities such as meditation, breath work, and others. These tools give you new ways to sense energy, both your own and other people's. It becomes natural to do so. At first, being able to sense energy might not seem like anything special. It might seem like something everyone goes through. For some, though, this awareness gets stronger over time. All of a sudden, they understand that these skills are not normal. It's like opening a door to a secret part of life. Still, these kinds of finds can be scary, especially if you don't know how to handle them. After that, the journey is about learning how to handle this energy, know when to let it in and when to turn it off. It can make a huge difference to get the right help. You can get the help you need to build these skills from teachers, mentors, or even books. This road will never end, and you will always need to grow and heal. People who work with energy or as healers are said to need to be in touch with themselves all the time and make sure their mental and spiritual state is always getting better. If you want to learn more about psychic sciences or mediumship in a more structured way, places like Arthur Findlay College, which is one of the best places to do so, are great places to grow. The difference between psychic powers and mediumship is important whether you're looking into either one. Psychic powers are something that everyone has in some way. You've used your mental senses when you dreamed about smelling something or seeing something clearly in your mind. These skills, which are known as clairsenses, vary in how strong they are from person to person, just like our physical senses like sight and sound do. Some people may have a stronger vision, clairaudience, or clairsentience. The beauty of this research is that it's about things that are important to everyone. Some people may naturally be better at psychic abilities, but with work, anyone can tune into these senses. And as time goes on, it gets easier to tell the difference between our personal area and the energy around us. It's a strong thought that we can all pick up on each other's energy, especially when you think of psychic work as communicating between souls. This is a reminder that on a deeper spiritual level, we are all linked. The things that happen to us, like imagining someone calling right before they do, or knowing someone's mood without them saying a word, are based on this exchange of energy. Developing your psychic abilities isn't some mysterious or faraway gift. It's a natural skill that you can work on, just like you can learn to make your body stronger. It is true that being able to tell the difference between your own energy and someone else's can change your life. Setting limits, especially when it comes to energy, is important for mental health. You made a good point when you said it's good to get your energy back at the end of the day, as if you were clearing out your mind and heart so that you aren't carrying around things that aren't yours. It's interesting that you say mental work is different from mediumship work. If you are psychic or a medium, you can connect with the living energy around you, but if you are psychic or a medium, you can connect with the spirit world of the dead. Both are deep ways to understand the journey of the soul. Whether things will shift or change in 2024 is an interesting question, and it's great that you bring astrology into the mix. Many people, especially right now, are looking for answers and direction as we go through times that are hard to predict. Like psychic work, astrology gives us a look into the world's bigger cycles and forces. Mercury in retrograde has a bad image, but I like your view that it means we should slow down and think again. This change of focus from fear to chance can give you strength. It tells us to see problems as chances to learn, think, and make plans, not just as problems to be solved. The astrological impact of Aquarius and Mercury on 2024 looks good, especially if you want the country to be more united. Because Aquarius is a creative and caring sign, it shares the desire for progress and fairness. And Mercury, which is the planet of speech, can help you put your dreams into words and make them come true. But as you said, it could be a rough time, especially nationally. Even so, it's often during times of chaos that the biggest changes happen. The feeling of hope is what sticks out the most. There is hope for change and growth, even though there is a lot of trouble in the world, thanks to the energy of the universe and our individual and shared dreams. There may be bumps in the road, but the goal is worth the work. A lot of people find the idea of being able to sense energy very interesting, and we often do it without even realizing it. If you feel tingly but not goosebumps, or if you've had something strange happen, like a visit in a dream or a prediction that came true, it could mean you're more in touch with the spiritual world than you think. It's not a fortune-telling service. It's more about becoming aware of your natural connection. There are amazing tools available to help you make this link, and Arthur Findlay College is a well-known place to study psychic and mediumistic abilities. There are a lot of different ways that mediumship can show up. Styles come in a lot of different types. Some people are very good at talking to pets, while others may use art to show their link, often by drawing the spirit they see. Personally, I use evidential mediumship, which means I connect with spirits on a mental level and give the person both useful information and a sense of who the spirit is so they can know they are there. Other types, like sleep or physical mediumship, connect with spirits in deeper or more physical ways. You could say that I've grown into working with spirit guides or angels over time. If you had asked me 2 years ago, I would not have thought I would be working with them now. But what I've been through has made me feel supported and guided by what I now call my spiritual team. This idea might seem strange to some, and that's okay. I felt the same way at one point. Each person has their own spiritual board of directors, or group of guides. Some of these guides may have been human, while others may have never been human. They help, protect, and lead us from behind the scenes. It's very personal and based on agreements made before birth, so we can't give someone else a guide. It's important to ask for their help and believe that they can help you. Recently, angels, especially Archangel Michael, have become more important to my work. There is a strong force around him that brings honesty, safety, and ethics. I call on him a lot in my work and in my personal life. I really think you should find a teacher who connects with you in order to improve these skills. It is very important to be consistent and practice outside of class, whether you are learning online or in person. Being able to improve my relationship through regular classes at a school in Seattle has been very helpful to me. In every part of your life, you feel stronger when you know your own energy field and can tell it apart from other people's. I think the most important thing I can say is to practice often. Stick with a teacher who talks to your spirit, and keep practicing. It will make a huge difference. Your thoughts give a complex picture of psychic abilities, mediumship, and the part faith plays. They also touch on issues of soul work, compassion, and personal spiritual connection. I like how you keep the idea of a higher intelligence or divine presence separate from the rules of organized religion. At the same time, you acknowledge that religion can help people who need it. From what you've seen, psychic skills and mediumship don't seem to be tied to any one religion. This supports the idea that we are all spirit or soul and have divine intelligence inside us. This fits with a lot of spiritual beliefs that say our connection to God is natural and not limited by rules. Being willing to keep learning and growing as a psychic and medium shows that you care deeply about helping people and are humble, which are traits that are often found in people who work in spiritual fields. You also talk about the rare times when religion can come through in readings, especially if it was important to the spirit being talked to. It's interesting to see that faith can be an important part of someone's life, but it doesn't always define their soul or their path in the afterlife. One of the most important things you said was how important it is to get ready for death, both in a practical and a spiritual way. Talking about wants and making plans ahead of time, like your dad did, takes stress and money off of loved ones so they can focus on grieving and getting better. This is a beautiful lesson of how spiritual work and everyday life are connected. Finally, your point about soul work continuing after death makes me think. It questions the idea that death is the last chance to avoid learning lessons on Earth. Instead, the path of growth continues, which shows us how important it is to learn from our souls now. You send a message of strength and self-awareness when you tell others to start their soul work in this life. You suggest that we can all learn, grow, and become love during our time here and beyond. Many people can relate to your point of view, whether they belong to a certain religion or not, because it opens up a deeper, more open knowledge of spirituality, healing, and the soul's journey.